going on, everybody? How's it going? I know it's been a while. It is now 2021. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all that good jazzy juzzy stuff. I don't know what I just said, but let's just keep it rolling. Anyways, how's it going, everybody? Again, good night, good evening, good morning, whenever you're watching this. Thank you for clicking. Thank you for watching. Thank you for wanting to see what's up, at least within my head. So, let's get into this. As you can see, I'm kind of in a new setup. You can't really see because I'm only just giving you a portion. Anyways, 2021, it's finally here. Last I left this channel, last I left my channel. Sorry, I'm trying to get my words straight. I just can't today. Anyway, last I left my channel, I think it was giving a message to the police, because we are now exactly where I not predicted, but I kind of didn't want it to go, right? The people who basically, now it's not going to be my video for today, but basically I want to talk about real quick the people who supported the cops are basically the ones that the cops are now going after and arresting, because, they're given unconstitutional orders and they just rather keep their paycheck than help out their fellow men. Now, I'm not here to judge any of that, but that is the deterioration within society. People stop having some kind of level of respect excuse me, for the authority, or the people who hold a certain level of authority. Remember, as Tim Pool actually says it, laws only work because of the confidence within the people. Make it work. If that makes any sense to you, then you know what I'm talking about. If that don't make any sense, basically, if you're in a household and your mom is the boss, once she let's say she goes about making moves a certain way that you don't really identify those moves to be hers, then you kind of, I'm not saying that I've ever did, because I never did. I never lost respect for my mom, but so somebody that you hold dear to yourself, right? Maybe mom was a bad example, but somebody that you hold dear to yourself, maybe they start doing things and making moves that are not, that you don't identify those moves to be with them, that you feel that something's wrong with them. They've changed, they moved the tune a little bit, and so you start looking at them a little differently. Basically, that's what is going on. So the confidence within the people, in the society, in the structure of all this that we call our environment, our society of law and order, is beginning, I believe, in my opinion, is beginning to break down. Now, I know I'm releasing this video on the biggest day so far of 2021, because the inauguration of the President of the United States is happening. Possibly when I'll upload this, January 20th. So, I just gotta say, excuse me, by the way, if you heard all that. This is not my biggest move, or not my smartest move, but I'm just making this video today because I just had certain things in my mind. I've been meaning to make this for the past 2 weeks, especially because my channel, I'm trying to revolve this around teaching boys how to be men, or teaching guys my age or older, to be men. Now, with all that jazz stuff, that jizzy stuff, let's get down to it. All that's out of the way. Let me just say, I had an incident a few weeks ago. It's Yeah, it's about a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks so far, with a friend of mine. Now, I have not spoken to this friend in a while because circumstances and life, and we've been around each other long enough to know that life happens. There's no harm, no foul. I don't hear you, my nigga. It's good. Keep it moving. But the situation that it kind of came up one day. Now I admit before I continue, I'll admit I'm a person that I like to antagonize people. I kind of like to poke the bear a little bit. That's just me. That's always been me. Everybody, if you're watching this and you know me, you know this has always been me. I'm not full of shit. This is not for show. If you guys also, again, if you know me, you know I don't do none of this. Or I don't go on Instagram or on Facebook and just make up a video just because I want to flaunt or I want to get in there and just kind of get in it, just making videos because everybody's making a video, so let me just make a video. Or everybody's being outrageous, let me be outrageous just to be. No, that's not me. I don't do that. I don't like that. I do, however, like to poke at people. I like to prod them. I like to listen. What buttons do I push to get you ticking? I kind of enjoy it, right? But at the same time, on top of me enjoying watching someone get emotional or get upset, it's also because deep down I really want to know what they're thinking. I want to know what they're about. Now, if I care about you that much, like your mom, a close friend of mine, like we're basically family. You say we're basically family. Then I'm gonna poke at you the way I poke at people in my family. Now, what I guess this person is learning is that the reason why most people in my family don't associate with me is because I poke at the bear. You know what I mean? They don't associate with me because of the same reasons that they're currently upset with me right now. Again, do I believe in everything you believe in? Probably not. Because at the end of the day, the kind of person that I am, kind of person I was brought up to be, even though my mom never really said question everything, that's just me. I have to question everything. If I don't question it, it's gonna bother me. I gotta understand, how do you see it like that? Cause I don't see it this way. And maybe it's emotions, right? Maybe my level of reacting with an emotion is probably very low, right? Compared to the next person who's very high, very sensitive. Now, I don't know how you measure that, or I don't even know how to explain it well. All I know is I consider myself to be a sensitive person. My son takes after me. He's very sensitive, maybe a little too sensitive. That part he takes after his mother. And I say that because there's stories about her. I've said this plenty before. Now, I am sensitive. I care about people's feelings. But at the end of the day, considering what's going on in the world, and I'm just doing this for fun because, like I said, I don't like doing anything outrageous, right? Just because I'm gonna just do outrageous things because that's what the trend is. I typically don't do that. I like to follow it. I'll see what people do, what kind of dumb shit they get into next time. Because it's like, look at where that generation is going. We did that. That's our fault. We kind of set this level of stupidity that people now feel the need to reach. And, we're not the only generation that's done it. It's been done before us, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But I can only speak about my generations. And again, The reason why I bring all that up is because I had this incident with a friend of mine. We're practically family. I don't know if he feels that way anymore, but it was about something that happened politically, some huge news. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Again, I don't want to, because YouTube, Facebook, all Instagram, any kind of big social network that's attached to big corporations is going through a list and they're just taking people out just because they say certain things or you're associated, you believe this way. It's kind of scary when you think about it, because not so long ago, and I guess in World War II, right, there was a certain party that would go after people, and for these people to, if they didn't follow the rules, they would go after them, grab them up, imprison them, and take them to go baking, if you get what I'm saying. These people had to wear a symbol to be allowed, or if you're walking outside, you have to wear a symbol. So like that we can identify you, we can know, okay, you need to get back, you got curfew, blah blah blah, whatever. All that feeling is kind of that's how it feels right now. If you're a believer, or if you have certain alignment in beliefs with a certain party or a certain person, or not even a certain person, it's just the idea of a person. If you believe in that, you're immediately on that category with the supremacy side, right? Now, I probably said too much already, but now you know what I'm saying. Now you understand what I'm trying to say. So it was that incident, and like I have, like I say, I question everything. So even when I know the mainstream comes out and they say their talking points, and then you flip through the channel and it's the same talking point, it's almost all the same. Now to me that bothers me, because it's like you guys are different networks, but yet you speak the same way. Well, where is the level of competition, if there is one? Now with the other big F mainstream news network, right? You guys know who I'm talking about, with the big F, FOX. Excuse me. Oh my God, COVID. Anyway, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. They are the competition of everybody else because they don't repeat what those people say. Now, do they repeat a lot of what? I mean, they're so little. They're the biggest mainstream probably for that side of the political opinion, right? So it's hard to tell if they actually, at least for me, it's hard to tell if they actually repeat like a lot of the shit that anybody else repeats. But the other side, there are so many. There are so many that think alike, that say the same thing. It's like they don't even look like they're in competition. They all look like they're just trying to reach a certain narrative. That's all it is. That's all I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with somebody telling me what to think and telling me what I should say and how I should think about such person who said such thing, right? So again, this is about an incident that happened 2 weeks ago, January 6th. Everybody knows that date. If you don't know that date, look it up. So this person felt immediately that they had to contact me. It was 9:30 in the morning, or 9 o'clock in the morning. I was at work. They put up a post. They put up a certain caption that I happen to disagree with, and I just poked at him a little bit. I'll admit it. I poked at him. If you're watching this, I poked at you. But the way that he reacted to me was so emotional, and I told him this. I don't know if he heard it because he hung up on me. Now, I don't want to say what I want to say because I'm trying to be politically correct. But you know what? Now that I just said that, I can't even see. Look at myself. I'm looking at myself right now on the screen. It's like, you piece of shit. Just say it. He acted like a female. In my eyes, in my opinion. I'm not saying females are emotional creatures, although that's what they claim to be. I've known a few that have claimed to be emotional creatures, because I know one or two that are not. But in my opinion, in my view, in my belief, he acted like a female. Now, you can either get upset at the part that what I just said about acting like a female, or you can dive in deeper with me, right? So if you're not upset yet, that's good. You're doing the right thing. Listen to my full, complete rant, however long it may be. But do not get emotional and just start attacking because you didn't like something I just said or something I don't agree with. So this person calls me up, starts screaming, or not screaming, but starts talking over the phone in a very aggressive tone, right? Now, this person knows me for many years. I know him for many years. He starts coming at me, telling me certain things. He's asking me questions, but does not give me the ability to answer back. Now, what kind of tactic have I seen that from? A female. When I'm in a relationship and a female is upset at me at something. You know, everybody sees the comedies, you see the shows. Oh, this and that, bro. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? And before you even open it, they just jump down your throat. Because that's the way they argue. They want to feel like they're a powerful one. They're winning the argument, and that's not just female, but I associate it with female because in my experiences, that kind of behavior has been associated with a female. Okay, now continuing along the story. So he's asking me questions, does not give me the ability to answer because as soon as I open my mouth, he's again spouting or trying to lecture me. He's trying to lecture me instead of actually listening to why I think the way I think. And that's what's going on. That's what I see a lot of is just they'll clown you, and as soon as you come and say, well, you know, give me a specific reason why, like I enjoy a good roast. That's what boys do. That's what guys do. That's what men do. We talk to each other by roasting each other. That's how we communicate, right? For many years, we communicated like that. I mean, I shouldn't say it's a surprise that he acted like that because for years he's always been an emotional creature, and I'm pretty sure if he's watching it, he's gonna hate it. But it's good for him. It toughens him up. But like I said, he comes at me, doesn't let me speak, and before I know it, he just hangs up on me. Now, that bothered me very, very much. I even left him a long, very aggressive kind of voice message. Because one thing I don't like is you hang up on my face. Granted, you called me up, you're upset. I know you're going to be upset. But instead of having a conversation with me, you decided to let your emotions speak, scream at my face, well, not my face, but scream at me, trying to lecture me like if I'm a child when I'm a grown ass man. I got my own job, I pay for my own shit. I may be in a rut and at the moment, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm a man. I treat you with respect, you treat me with respect. It doesn't matter what's going on in my life, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. But as soon as you try to treat me like a child, your argument is out the fucking window. I don't deal with that shit. I don't play with that shit. Right now, I'm even debating if I should be the nice guy if I see him again, because I know I'm gonna go somewhere to some event that we know people at, that we both know mutually, and I'm still contemplating whether I should approach him and say, "Listen, what's the problem? What's the matter with you? Let's talk." Or if I should just sit back and let him think about whether he should come see me, because I definitely didn't deserve that, right? We've been boys way too long to let something in the fucking news divide us like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you believe in. Obviously, I question you because I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know why you came to that conclusion. Because that's the way I am. That's how I am. Everybody who knows me knows that. Somebody could come up to me and trust me. There's been plenty of people in my family, in my kid's mom's family. They come up to me and they're just like, if they're experts, and listen, let me tell you this, I know that. Trust me, because I've done it, this and that. I've been there, blah, blah, blah. I get that. What I will do, what I will do, right? Sorry. Is I'll take advice, I'll listen to you, and then moving forward, I'll apply it as such. You know, depending on the circumstances. That's what I'll do. Like that, people have seen or have noticed that I react better that way, right? But what you're not going to do is that you're not going to sit there, or you're not going to come to me, come up to my face and tell me what I should think, tell me what I should do, and why I'm wrong and you're right. Because that's essentially, at the end of the day, people who have been arguing with me for the past 4 years about anything I've ever said, it's always about how they're right and I'm wrong. Now, if that's the case, fine. I'll admit I'm wrong if I am wrong. But if you just come and tell me you're wrong because I'm right, then I'm sorry to tell you, bro. Then you don't know me that well just to come and tell me or give me those kind of ultimatums, because that's not how I roll. Everybody who knows me knows that's not how I roll. And that's the sad part of all this, is that this person knows me, has been around when I've been in my ruts, has been around when I've been good. And I try to be consistently the same motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to be somebody I'm not. I don't try to act some way I'm not. I'm not a fighter. But I get a few beers in me, get pumped up with liquor. Guess what? I'm not afraid to fight anybody. I'll step in the line of fire if I have to. And those of you who know me understand why I say what I just said, because it's true. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who knows me knows my condition and how I still don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter what kind of condition I'm in. You know, maybe when I'm sober, I might think about it a little longer than usual. But at the end of the day, if I gotta stand up for people that I feel need my protection, or my family, that person's not gonna stand alone. I'm stepping up. Or if it's my kid's mom, we're hanging out. Guess what? I'm going first. That's just the bottom line. That's just the way it is. You could call it male toxicity or whatever the fuck, right? Toxic male, whatever the hell, whatever the term is that these uppity college motherfuckers try to use all the time. All right, because that's another thing. Just because you went to four more years after high school, or 8 more years after high school, don't make you better than nobody else. You know what I'm saying? You might have been exposed to 4 more years, or 5 more years, or 8 more years, or some other shit, right? But at the end of the day, you ain't better than nobody else. You know? I treat everybody with the same respect. As soon as I don't get that respect back, sorry. I'm sorry. I don't fuck with you. Yeah. So call it whatever you want. That's just the way I was raised. That's how I was taught to be a man. That's what, in my definition, a man is a person who steps up and owns what they have said, what they have done, and know that if somebody comes with a different opinion, hear them out. Doesn't mean I have to follow it. I'll hear you out. Because, at the end of the day, what we were taught growing up, two minds are better than one. That's true. Great leaders delegate. But what great leaders don't do is fall to the first pressure of you need to do this or else. And that's what we as men are in our households, in our communities. I mean, yeah, you might have some females that are leaders. That's 100% a fact. In my eyes, Nikki Haley was the Secretary of UN or something about UN relations. I forget the terminology. I haven't been watching politics like I used to. I mean, I watch enough, but anyway, she was the one that was in charge of like delegating between the US and the UN, and she's a leader. She's a boss. You don't know why I say that? Look her up when she was addressing the other UN nations. Look her up. Watch her speeches. Again. So, the point of this video, I don't know how long I've been ranting for, but the point of this video is we need to teach our boys growing up how to be men, right? How not to act emotionally, right? How to intake information, let that shit process, and then come up with a solution or come up with a decision. We need to teach our boys how not, even girls too, but again, my focus is more of the boys because there's a lot of focus on they need to be taught how to be more feminine, like if femininity is weaker or the reverse of male toxicity, and you guys are delusional if you don't believe that there is feminine toxicity. Let's just call it what it is. I'll say it like that. If I'm wrong, if you want to laugh at me, you want to say you fucking stupid, go ahead. I'm just gonna call it feminist toxicity, because just like there can be an extreme on one side, there can be an extreme on the other side. Get it? It's called balance. It's that Mr. Miyagi shit. If you don't know Mr. Miyagi, look up Karate Kid, or even now on Netflix, Cobra Kai. That shit is awesome. But if you watch Cobra Kai, you need to watch Karate Kid. All four of them. It's balance. And we need to be right in the middle. Right now, we're falling right back. Before in the civil rights era, it was all the way to one side. Where it was like, if you're this color, you're superior. If you're that color, you're inferior. Now, if you don't see it, I don't know what you've been looking at. But in my opinion, it's going in the other direction. It was in the middle point in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. And then it started going further and further to the other side, like, oh shit. Now it's on the other side of the other. If you're not the other race, you're inferior. If you're the other race that was inferior before, now it's superior. You see what I'm saying? It's a pendulum. Or a scale, my bad. But either way, pendulum swings both ways. The scale, you put too much on one side, it'll drop. Put too much on the other side, it'll pick it up and then drop again. So we need to be, mira, ¿dónde está la cámara? Right here, en el medio, and that's the problem. That a lot of people that I know or that I speak to, so most of them understand what I'm trying to say again, but they take the time to talk to me to see that I'm not just what one person wants to picture me as, right? And that's another thing. Not having this conversation because he was trying to lecture me. So listening to this lecture, what I got from all of it and what I understood was this person has no idea what I think or why I think what he thinks I think, right? Because I may possibly think or believe in what he thinks I believe in, but I'm pretty sure that I'm kind of more in the middle of everything than what he suggests. So listening to him, all I could what I got out of it the most was he's trying to lecture me, and then at the end was, you're just mad because your guy lost and you can't deal with it, and hung up. No, I think about it right now, it infuriates me because one, when that guy won 4 years ago, the other side never stopped crying up until now, right? Even on January 20th, 2021, is possibly the first time that they will stop crying ever. Now, I say possibly because I'm not sure it'll happen. But just listening to that, and it's like, where have you been? If you want to talk sides real quick, that side hasn't stopped crying since that guy won. This time, there was some questionable security protocols, questionable rule changes, questionable foul play, and the fact that no court or no legit institution wanted to even take a peek at what was found, because there was evidence. That is fucked up. Now if you want to talk about the law should be applied fairly and equally. Now what we got now is jumping around for whatever fits. This what makes people happy over here. Let's make them happy over here. These people will make them happy later on. It's like, no. Apply that shit fair, and we will never. Well, I shouldn't say never, but the amount of like the percentage I believe will be less that we will have problems. We'll probably be a little bit more safer, a little bit better. But that's the game with politics. They lick their finger, start pointing it up, see where the wind's blowing. Okay, that way. Oh, wait, it changed. Now we go that way. Come on, man. Remember that saying: if you don't stand for anything, you fall. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Right? Just think about that. Just think about that for a moment. I'm making this video. It's late in the night. I should probably keep it down. But again, just thinking about what I just said. The last line of my boy telling me, "You just mad because your guy lost." It's like, it's just upsetting because he doesn't have any idea. He just knows that I don't agree with everything he agrees. That's all he knows. And even in the past, trying to talk to him, he gets to an emotional state. It's hard to talk to somebody when they get emotional. Because when they get emotional, they block you out. Even though they're not physically doing this, they're doing that. They're blocking you out. They don't want nothing to do, talk about it. They just drop it and just move on. And they come back later when they've cooled down. So, but anyway, that's why I wanted to make this video, because at the end of the day, it's time. I've had a lot of people request for me to make a video again. And, sorry it took so long, guys, but I'm in this new space. There's a lot of things that have been going on in my personal life. And I'll keep them personal. But, yeah, man. Listen, we need to teach our kids to think rationally, not irrationally, not emotionally, because emotionally it'll get them in trouble. It's the reason why warriors are trained to think not on emotions but on, like, basically rational, because they need to surveil their surroundings, calculate, and then make moves. So I think I'll leave it at that for now. It's my first video back. Don't want to get you guys too bored. But yeah, listen. With everything that's going down, make sure that you stack up on food. Make sure that you stack up on, certain weaponry, bow and arrows, anything, because there is a lot of talk in the dark web, let's call it. Even though there is dark web, I'm pretty sure you see a lot of talk. Now, a lot of times you see a lot of people that are just trying to make a quick buck. Like a lot of these social media influencers, they're just, amidst all the chaos and the heartbreaks and the fear mongering from the mainstream, they'll use the opportunity to sell you something that will be good for you for probably a minute or two in the pandemic, and then be okay with making that, selling you basically hopes and dreams. And a lot of those people, they're not talking about any kind of hard times. To them, it's going on smoothly. Again, they're most likely just oblivious to everything that's going on. But for those of us who work for a living, for those of us who are on the ground, and those of us who hang in low income communities, you guys feel it. You guys see the difference. You guys feel the shift. And a lot of us know that, guess what? Just because Amazon comes out and puts up a nice little feed on their website or their packages and say that we support certain organizations because of this and that, we know that that's full of shit, because the only color they see is green. And right now, who's benefiting off of all this? You got Amazon that skyrocketed their stocks, Walmart. Liquor stores are open, but I don't have an issue with them, because a lot of liquor stores are, like they're owned by one person, or family or whatever. They're a small business. But you got a lot of these Chevys and Popeyes, and it's, how about this? I propose everyone who watches this to stop going to a McDonald's, Wendy's, Chevys, Popeyes. I get it. It's convenient. You don't have to get out of the car. Drive through, quick food. Just want to grab some quick bite and just keep it going. But I would suggest you do this. Go to your local restaurant or your local place that serves food, bagel shop, anything, and ask them what's what's their menu. What do they have? And just say, I'm gonna be coming here. That's my order. Uh, if you got a routine that you got, apply it there. Help them out, man. Help them out. Cause that's how you help your fellow man. Stop giving it to Walmart. Stop giving it to Amazon. Stop giving it to Burger King, McDonald's, all that shit. Go to your local bodega and be like, listen, man, I'm coming here for this and that. They got milk, they got soda, they got chips. Now, certain bodegas are smaller than others, but they got all that too. They got water, they got coffee. No, I'm saying things that I like. So, I don't know if they got hummus for a lot of you motherfuckers. You guys like hummus. I don't know if I could deal with that shit. But I got nothing against hummus. It's just I don't like it. But but yeah. So that's all I gotta say. Do that. Help out your fellow man. You're in your community too. Cause guess what? When shit hits the fan, people who live around you, your block, two block radius or whatever it may be, those are the people that shit hits the fan, you're gonna see first. So you rather be in them with them together with this and help each other out, or you rather just be like how we've kind of evolved ourselves, especially in this pandemic. Everybody wearing a mask, everybody staying away from each other. It's almost like they're teaching our brain to avoid everybody. So when if shit does hit the fan, your circle is that much smaller. Now I'm not talking about your family circle, but I'm talking about like your circle of having people to trust and people to hang out with, and certain people, you got your back no matter what. Now that rapport is kind of damaged because we haven't seen each other in a long time. Like I said, it's a perfect example of my friend who back in like for years now. We've known each other for years. We were tight. We're basically family. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what he says now because he's upset with me. But I haven't seen him because of all this. He's got his reasons. I got my reasons. He's got life. I got life. Kids. Same thing. So there's been some kind of damage to our rapport because we haven't seen each other. So, and the fact that he doesn't like to speak to me or talk to me instead of talking at me, it's another reason why. And that's the media right there. Just remember, when they're all at the top, right, and they're all talking about whatever the fuck they want to talk about, like, oh, did you see the Ferrari I got last week? This and that. Yeah, sure. It's like, oh, got somebody else comes into the conversation. Oh, did you see the locals the other day going all crazy? While they're sipping their wine. It's the elite class, man. Talking about us. It's like, oh, what should we do? It's like, oh, run that segment again about police brutality, or run that segment on the white guy saying the N-word, and at the bottom say, will racism ever end in our lifetime? Yeah, this shit. I'm just talking shit right now, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, as long as they keep us fighting amongst each other, they can keep talking about their Ferraris, their yachts, their boat trips. And then those of us down here, well, not down here, but those of us that are doing better than the average person, they think they're up there with those people. So they'll look down on us and be like, you guys, you need to listen because that is true. And plus, I you should follow what they say because I'm a good person. I follow what they say. And that's why I'm going on a boat vacation with me and my friends because I make enough money to do that. Da, 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 da. Whatever the fuck, you know? That's what it comes down to, man. That's all I gotta say right now. Hate it or love it, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that's the way I see it, man. That's the way it's rolling right now. So again, thank you for coming back. Thank you for clicking. What can I say? Like, subscribe, do all that jazzy shit. If you could send this to other people you think might like it, or those of you that want to poke at somebody, send them my video. Like I said, I like to poke the bear, and sometimes it's out of my reach, or sometimes I'm out of my depth, but I still do it because I don't care. I either learn something new, or I'll take something into consideration and change my views on it. You know, like I'm a revolving door of ideas. Like I like to listen to people. I just don't like it when you tell me what I need to do, or what I need to listen to, or what I need to believe. Because that's when you get the 1776 motherfucker. This, I don't give a fuck. I'll burn all this shit down. Figuratively, not literally. But, you know, those of you, 1776 was the Declaration of Independence when we wanted to separate from, and we did, from England. Because we don't like to be told what to do. That's America at its core. That's the idea of America. You don't tell me what I should do, and you need to get the fuck out of my face. You can talk to me, but don't talk at me, because I'm not a kid. That's basically what it is, in a nutshell. And so, like I said, 2021, new shindig. I plan to, you know, decorate and shit like that, make it look nice for you guys to not just see my face, but I'll be expanding on what I want to talk about. It's not just gonna be like just for the boys, you know, just for men, because there's already a podcast that says just for the boys, so you should check it out. I think it's just for the boys, or it's just boys cast, whatever it may be. Just to make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that jazzy shit. And again, don't just talk at people. Talk with them. Talk to them. Say your piece. Allow them to say theirs, and see where you stand. Because that's the only way you're gonna find out whether you and somebody are still in good rapport, or you just don't. You're totally opposites now. There's no reason for you guys to hang out. It's just might as well call a truce and just go your separate ways. Whatever. But talk. Stop getting emotional. Talk about things. Come to a clear decision. Alright? Because emotions are like alcohol. You shouldn't be making tough or long lasting decisions when you're drunk. Like maybe that tattoo that never worked out. Oh shit. But so the same thing with emotions. If you're high on your emotions because you're upset, probably not a good idea to make some kind of decisions. You know, people often say things that are hurtful when they're upset, but that's because emotions are high. The most important thing about that is if they come afterwards and apologize, hey, listen, about that, what I said, I'm sorry, I was upset. Can you forgive me? It's not even like that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to go there, but whatever it may be, the apology. That's when you be like, I respect that. Of course I forgive you, bro. There's no harm, no foul. I know you're just upset. But they continue with that upset and they don't come back and they listen. Okay. Now I know you actually mean that shit, even though you're cooled off right now. you mean it more now than what you did before when you were upset. So anyway, so just like I said, take it easy, guys. Be safe. Speak to one another. Stop wearing that mask shit. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna stop this. You keep looking down at it. Peace.